Hey guys, what's going on? It's Rekt Capital and welcome back to another video on the Rekt Capital channel. Thanks so much for joining me. Today we're going to be talking about how this recent sell-off in Bitcoin's price action, well, it is the first sell-off in this Bitcoin bull market, right? Because we haven't really seen such substantial downside in Bitcoin's price action throughout the entirety of the bull market, because throughout the entirety of this Bitcoin market cycle, the bull trend, we've only really been seeing dipping price action, minus 18, minus 21, minus 24%. We even got a minus 31% correction in January 2021, but generally speaking, we've never seen in this bull trend a real crash that would truly scare a lot of investors into panic selling, into thinking it was the bear market. And that's what constitutes a potential bear trap. This does look like it is the first sell-off in this Bitcoin bull market. You can understand that it was pretty much plain sailing since the beginning of the bull market in March 2020. We haven't really seen much turbulence, many periods of consolidation, many periods of dipping price action, but no real first sell-off to truly scare investors out of their positions, for them to get trapped in what is essentially a bear trap. Let's dive right into the video. A bear trap is what is essentially a moment in time in the market cycle where we see such downside that even long-term investors get a bit shaky and start to offload their positions. Well, on-chain analytics actually suggests to us that it is short-term hodlers and investors that are actually panic selling in this first sell-off. They don't know any better. They haven't been around for an extensive period of time like long-term investors have been, and they're very susceptible to these crashes, especially when they're pretty much outlier crashes like this, minus 30, minus 53% towards the downside, the first sort of crash that we've seen in this bull market, which is why they're more likely to sell and get trapped in this bearish sentiment, in this extremely fearful period of price action. Market sentiment is at a low that we haven't really seen before since March 2020. This is when we saw a minus 63% crash, and we saw a period in time in November 2018 where we also saw a minus 50% crash, and this is where the market sentiment was at the lowest but actually maintained itself for a period of a month. So we spent a month in the extremely fearful maximum pessimism area on the fear and greed index, and we spent a month in November 2018 before the actual Bitcoin bull market, bear market bottom, apologies. So a month here before beginning the bull trend, before exiting the extremely fearful period, the maximum pessimism period, and just beginning new bull trends altogether. And it looks like now that we're in this crucial area, extreme fear precedes financial opportunity. This has been historically accurate, that extreme fear precedes financial opportunity, especially when we spend a lot of time in these periods of extreme fear. And it looks like Bitcoin is setting itself up to spend quite a bit of time here. And in fact, that's something we should just expect based on history. We're not going to reverse straight away. We shouldn't see that sort of volatility come in after such an extensive crash. We tend to spend a lot of time, a few weeks, max 1 month, in the extremely fearful period. This is when people just get really tired of low prices and they really capitulate. Not only in this capitulation wick that we've already seen in the crash, lots of capitulation here, but people are just going to get resigned that Bitcoin isn't going back up too quickly like it was in the past, and they're going to get resigned to the fact that this is now that this isn't a bull market anymore, and that this is actually a bear market. But extreme fear precedes financial opportunity. And the thing I want to talk about is that we've seen a lot of Wall Street cheat sheets out there on Twitter recently, but we need to focus on how a bull market top looks like. We tend to see a blow off top followed by a really volatile relief rally to form a lower high, right? And we haven't really seen that. over here. Even if you focus on this schematic, you see a blow off top, relief rally, lower high, and then continuation in the downtrend. You're not really seeing these sort of important characteristics in the price action in Bitcoin's current price predicament, or at least this distribution range for this local top. In fact, if you just compare this area with this period in price action, it's very different. And it just goes to show that this isn't the top in the market cycle. We haven't seen that euphoria come in. We haven't seen a blow off top. We haven't seen volatile relief rallies. But what this price action looks like in this cheat sheet resembles something like this or like this, right? Where we see this sort of curling down price action before volatility towards the downside and then recovery. And we could see something like that again. But basically speaking, we haven't seen that market cycle top for Bitcoin. We're seeing the price action that kind of denotes this sort of phase, not necessarily this sort of phase. And it's not just this cheat sheet that can give us some insight into that, because on the stock to flow model, you're seeing this sort of curling down price action as well. Well, we've seen this curling down price action in this period in the market, in this period in the market as well. Right over here as well, right over here. So we've seen these sort of periods of curling down price action which have preceded further upside. And this period is very similar to those periods that I've just shown to you. This sort of local topping out before retracement, before further upside. Because these tops in the market cycle occur beyond the upside, beyond the stock to flow line. This upside deviation, blow off top, which is essentially a V, right? A V right over here, a V shape, a V-shaped reversal, a V-shaped reversal. And even here, but we're seeing this sort of curling down, nothing too volatile about that. No euphoria, no fervent emotional extreme reactions to press price up to a blow off top, euphoric proportion top of the market cycle before having that V-shaped reversal towards the downside. This is just a curling down, a losing some steam in the buy side momentum, needing this period of downside and retracement just to build a bit more buy side interest at lower price levels. And the thing about that is that we're not only seeing on the stock to flow model and the Wall Street cheat sheet overall that these tops are quite different from what we're actually seeing in Bitcoin's price action. Not only that, but we're also seeing a macro higher low right over here, if you can see that. A macro higher low. And it's really important to see how Bitcoin closes above 38.5, rallies towards 44. What's it going to do at 44K? That's the most important area. And in fact, it needs to claim this area back into support to invalidate this distribution range. But overall, macro higher low. So this looks like a local top at the moment. We need a bit of cooling down on this retracement period before we can gather some buy side momentum at lower price levels, before we can continue up once again. So that's about it for today's video update. Thanks so much for watching today. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this in the future. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for watching once again. I hope you have a fantastic day going forward. I'm Rekt Capital, and I'll speak to you in the next one. Speak to you soon.